bombed by those U.S. B-2 bombers tonight. Also, Isfahan, as well as Natanz. Natanz had another underground facility. Remember, before Fordo was built in 2006, Natanz had been the main enrichment site. It was also built underground. Israeli jets had been targeting it in the last week, but they had not been able to penetrate underground. So those U.S. B-2 bombers, which flew out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, they would have taken out that underground facility. Natanz is interesting. You'll remember, Brett, it was the site of the Stuxnet virus, the cyber attack on those centrifuges years ago. But again, it was back up and running. And what is surprising, I think, tonight is that the president announced that it was not one site, but 3 underground sites and sites inside Iran's nuclear program that were struck by the U.S. Air Force tonight.
So it had to be the U.S. bombs to get under the ground. So they're saying the Israel ones, they could do the first part, but to get to the ground, oh, this was really like the movie, bro, Top Gun Maverick. You remember?
Yeah.
Somebody tweeted who at Top Gun Maverick knew the future.
Who knew? Because that's what they did. Remember, they had to shoot and they had to get it, and then they had to boom eliminate it, and that's what happened.
Wiping out Secretary of Defense, that's what they was just watching a week or two before and just said, well, this is what we finna do.
And they probably let them watch it get hype.
It's obviously based off of real possibilities in advance.
Yeah, that was an accurate movie. Wow.
That's crazy.
What we're looking at here is we're being told this is, I think, anywhere from just shy of 200 to 300 feet in depth. There are all kind of reports out there of 1,000 foot, but I think that's more propaganda. So what you end up doing is if you saw the movie, the latest Top Gun movie, eerily enough, this is that plot kind of coming to fruition in real life. It's not just one bomb. It'll be a bomb after a bomb to get through that penetration.
And just lastly, that's what you're talking about. Can penetrate up to 200 feet below the surface.
Dang.
And then, of course, we'll see it try and put the second one in there and go down in there. Yeah. Let's bring in David Burke, our Top Gun and former Top Gun instructor, retired U.S. Marine Corps officer. Now, David, I don't know how well we did that, but you know this better than anybody. Talk to us about, questions over whether or not this can successfully be done.
Joey Jones just crushed that explanation. You guys hit the nail on the head. So really well done. This absolutely can be done. There is not a cave in the world deep enough to defend itself against the American military if it needs to hit it. And you described the weapon system and the aircraft and the mating of that exactly right. Now, this is a hard problem to solve, but it is absolutely a solvable problem with this system.
A few moments later.
Announcing on Truth Social that the U.S. has successfully bombed sites in Iran. I'm going to read you that post right now. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace, he says in all caps. Thank you for attention to this matter. Again, the breaking news coming from President Donald Trump that the U.S. has indeed bombed sites in Iran.
Well, I mean, if the reports are true, which is what they've been doing, they've been enriching uranium so they can make bombs. And we know that they hate America and this is a direct threat to America if they get bombs. I see why we had to do this. I mean,
Facts.
Obviously, there's been a lot of fallout and backlash. People are saying, oh, we're at war now. This is not what I voted for. I voted for no new wars. Like, they feel betrayed by Trump's decision in this, and they believe that this benefits someone better, another nation better than ours. But to me, it's like, if we know that they're actually trying to build bombs, we have to stop that. That's a threat to America, and I feel like that this was the best way to address that, me personally.
Yeah, I truly agree with that because we saw multiple videos where they said death to America and burning the flag and stomping on it in Iran. So, like, I understand we had to.
Can't let them have nukes.
But, happy that no citizens got,
extremely happy.
That's really what I really care about. I just don't want no innocent Iranians getting blown up.
This was a flawless military operation. They went in there, they bombed the places that have the nukes. No one died on either side, Because the people of Iran, I've heard from PBD and them, they said they don't like the regime. They hate the government there. So they want their government to fall. They want that to happen. So this is a win-win for everybody as long as Iran don't come back to America and do something. But if they do, I don't think that will end well for them.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about is them spinning.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have to let the scenario play out. This is only the first day that this has happened. Iran has been making like threats. Oh, we're gonna act with force. Every American in the region is a threat. Whoop, 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 whoop. And that is very concerning. I mean, obviously, if that happens, we gotta flatten them. And we don't want to do that. I don't want to go to war. I don't want this to escalate. I mean, they gotta come to terms with what Trump says. That's bottom line. That's what everyone has to do. Everyone has to bend the knee. Y'all can't have bombs. If you're gonna keep making bombs, then you're gonna keep getting bombed. I mean, it's that simple.
Fox News alert. I just spoke to the President of the United States. I have some new information and breaking details to share about tonight's what is historic air campaign. Now, tonight, Iran's nuclear ambitions, they are officially dead. It appears the United States just completely obliterated Iran's top secret Fordow nuclear facility with 6 huge bunker buster bombs. It was originally speculated that you would only need 2. It turns out they used 5 to 6 dropped from America's stealth B-2 bombers. And that's not all. 2 other major Iranian nuclear sites, Natanz and Esfahan, were wiped out with 30 Tomahawk missiles launched by American submarines some 400 miles away. Wow. Everyone is out of harm's way for now. That does not mean that American assets in the region are not at risk, and we are monitoring the Iranian response or potential response all throughout the night.
This effectively destroys Iran's capability to enrich uranium at this level that they would need. There are thousands of centrifuges in these sites, and the fact that the Americans have the bombs and have decided to use them to strike deep underground puts Iran in a position where at some point it will have to make a decision about the future of this regime, because the Israelis went after many of the air defense systems around these nuclear sites. They went after the sites that they could target with the fighter jets that they have. We talked with those Israeli pilots earlier in the week, and now tonight President Trump ordering this strike, importantly against the Fordow nuclear facility deep underground, very close to the Iranian capital of Tehran, indicating that this strike will not only damage but likely destroy, if successful, Iran's nuclear program and their ability to go and get closer and closer to a nuclear weapon. We expect to get more reaction from Israeli officials tonight, Brett, about this key strike that will change the course of the Middle East forever, and also what they believe the Iranian response will be, if any, to these strikes. The Iranians still have the capability to strike Israel with their ballistic missiles.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength.
He did that so bad.
President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
That must be why a lot of MAGA supporters are mad, because of this. They was begging for us to help, and now he's praising. People are pretty pissed off. A lot of people saying they don't support this. They're going to be voting blue down the ballot. I mean, if they were going to have nukes, we do need to stop that. Whether it's a threat to them, it's more importantly a threat to us. That's what we should be concerned about. Now, I do see value in taking out their nuclear sites and stopping the place that's the terrorist hotbed from getting nuclear weapons, because we know that they will shoot them. I mean,
without putting Americans at risk too.
Yeah, I do see how this does put Americans at risk now because of the military bases we have in the Middle East that are now targeted, are at risk to be targeted. I mean, we have to continue, like I've said multiple times, we have to let the scenario play out.
I feel like they're going to attack more than just on military bases. They want blood, real blood.
So what do you think would happen then?
Might send something across that ocean.
Then that is the end of their country.
I've seen they don't have the firepower to do that.
That is the end of their country if they do so. I do see why people from America are upset because of this, but I do think that regardless of if it was a red administration or a blue administration, America's going to support Israel, it seems like.
Oh,
They've done it the entire American history.
Facts.
So I don't think that, who you voted for would change this happening, that America is going to actually have to help them. But I do see it looks bad that they're cheering and so happy that we did it, because it makes it look like we did it for y'all and not for us.
I completely agree. No, I believe our safety is more important than theirs. This is what Trump said after. Said this was a historic moment for the United States, Israel, and the world. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you. See, this is why people are mad, because he said it's a historic moment for America and Israel.
Yeah.
Why are you including them with us? I mean,
we already was bunched in with them technically, because they was going to bomb Israel.
But if he would have just let that out of this post, maybe that would have helped. And also, I see it because it's like you didn't have this type of energy with Ukraine.
Yeah, facts.
People will say that.
But we have to realize something. We voted for Trump because he was like, "Oh, we're fighting a proxy war with Ukraine. I'm the president of peace, and now you're bunching us in Israel and their conflict as if they are Americans." I mean, this needs to be an America first administration. Everything needs to be about America. The fact that you're making this about America and Israel as if they're part of America is a problem.
You don't think Iran look at both of us the same?
Nah, because I think they look at them as our little brothers. Like they'll push Israel around to a certain point, but if they gotta call their big brother from up the street, it's gonna be a problem.
They don't look at us as the same. We're not the same.
You know what's crazy? Donald Trump might be a real life thug. He dropped the flag as he did this. Like, that is so crazy to me. Like, he said,
this is what it is. We banging it.
We banging America. But,
what we've said to the Iranians is we do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. But we want peace in the context of them not having a nuclear weapons program. And that's exactly what the president accomplished last night. I really think there are two big questions for the Iranians here. Are they going to attack American troops, or are they going to continue with their nuclear weapons program? And if they leave American troops out of it and they decide to give up their nuclear weapons program once and for all, then I think the president has been very clear. We can have a good relationship with the Iranians. We can have a peaceful situation in that region of the world. We have to step back a little bit, Kristen, and remind ourselves that we negotiated aggressively with the Iranians to try to find a peaceful settlement to this conflict. It was only when the president decided that the Iranians were not negotiating in good faith that he took this action. He didn't take it lightly, but I actually think it provides an opportunity to reset this relationship, reset these negotiations, and get us in a place where Iran can decide not to be a threat to its neighbors, not to be a threat to the United States. And if they're willing to do that, the United States is all ears.
JD is good. The way he put that made it really well. We tried to negotiate with them to get them to stop doing this. They didn't stop doing this, so we had to go eliminate that thing because it was a threat to the U.S. JD's going to do good.
Yeah, see, and that's the bottom line. We shouldn't worry about what's a threat to our allies or whoever. It has to be a threat to us. Like I said, this has to be an America First administration. We're tired of our politicians pulling us in directions for Middle Eastern conflicts, all these other conflicts to be the world police, because at the end of the day, we don't care. Our tax dollars need to go to what things that benefit the American people, and stopping Iran from having nuclear weapons is a benefit to the American people. So that's what needs to be the messaging here.